Greetings, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic, exciting, and not at all existential, dreary, depressing episode of Popcorn Dogs. My name is Brad, and time is a flat circle.
This is your boy, Just Sonic Ledoux. Very proud to say that I figured out that joke recently and updated my name on the Discord.
We are all very excited.
And you like that picture of me was my buddy threw it in Chat GPT and said, just make him a hedgehog.
It is Tyler dressed as Sonic the Hedgehog on stage with My Chemical Romance flicking off the camera.
It's pretty awesome.
It is. That is pretty awesome. We are part of the Hair of the Dogcast Network. Make sure to check out all the other amazing shows, such as Zombie Dogs, where we talk about Resident Evil. But today, we're talking about True Detective, Season 1, Episode 7. And good golly, this is, I'm still excited about this show.
We're getting there. We only got 2 left.
2 left. Now, there's no more Reggie Ledoux.
Oh, Reggie Ledoux been gone for a while now.
We're in the year of our Lord 2012. Or if we said that to Russ, he'd be like, that sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. Episode 7, After You've Gone.
We left something undone. We gotta fix it. You and I are on the case in Erath. The girl comes forward and says she was chased through the woods by a spaghetti monster with green ears. Now, I think that this is our man with the scars on his face. What happened to Billy Lee Tuttle? Now, I staked his places out for weeks. Found those in the safe there. There's a videotape. No! Now, with all these kids running around, you remember one that maybe had scars all across the bottom of his face?
I think that was Mr. Sam's grandchild.
Could you have a look at something for me? One thing.
No Cacosa.
Did some backtracking on the Marie Fontenot stuff. Sheriff didn't take the original complaint. Deputy did. Steve Geraci.
I said all I remember about the girl. And don't ask again.
I ain't gonna ask you. He is.
We start off with a needle drop. They're in the bar. And the needle drop, you actually see a needle drop onto a record. It is Angel of the Morning by Juice Newton. Now, that's a cool name.
Yeah, I read that as Juice WRLD.
Good morning, Tyler. Juice Newton, the narrator in the song, expresses a willingness to accept a temporary connection without any strings attached. She acknowledges that the relationship cannot last. Much like our boys. Getting back together, getting the crew back together after their horribly vicious fist fight, and they haven't talked for a long time.
It's been years.
Turns out, if you're cheating on your wife, and then your partner has sex with your wife because she's trying to get back at you, and then you have a bloody fist fight, and you have an unresolved case, you are angry at each other.
It's actually kind of funny, though. The only reason they didn't talk for so long is because Marty broke Rust's taillight. Or Russ broke his taillight with Marty. And that's what really, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
So, Tyler, are you telling me that if you threw me into your own taillight, I'm responsible for it?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to fight you then. I won't fight you on that. So Russ and Marty are catching up. Russ says the fact that Lake Charles is being kept quiet signifies something is being hidden. This is the new case that's going on. And it is weird.
Yeah, you think a murder of this scale would definitely pop off, or at least get the meter jumping a little bit. But he is right. Something is amiss. Something's going on.
It's a big one. And Russ says he spent 8 years in Alaska working fishing boats and bars. Doesn't sound like a bad way to live.
No, and it would be really nice after being a detective for so long and seeing all that fucked up shit. You know, you'd want to just be like, fuck it.
Alaska could be a cool place to live, I think.
Yeah. I've
a tough place.
Yeah, because every winter the vampires come out,
and there's no women.
Yeah, that's true.
But Rust doesn't like people in general, so he doesn't like men or women. He returned here in 2010 because he says a man remembers his debts. Marty says, "Well, I don't owe you anything. Don't owe him anything." And Russ explains that this is the both of them, and they owe a debt because they left something undone. And Marty doesn't like that being put on him.
No, but it's entirely true. Like, that case is not solved because of what Marty did and Rust helping him cover it up.
Yes, explicitly, Rust reminds him, if you hadn't clipped Reggie Ledoux, they might have gotten the whole story out of him. He goes on to explain that a lot of the evidence is there's nothing like definitive. That what their closest physical evidence was the LSD matched a prior murder case.
Yeah.
And that's good. They didn't have any murder weapons. They didn't have a lot of the things that they generally would want, but saved kids. It's kind of circumstantial at that point. Russ explains the sprawl is huge, and he's just not sure who he can trust. And at this point, Marty pretty much is the only one he knows is legit. And Marty says the great line, "If you were drowning, I'd throw you a fucking barbell." And he gets up to leave. He's like, "I'm done." And then Russ says, "You have a debt." And Marty just kind of looks down, and his shoulders drop, and he's like, "Yeah, fair enough."
It would be incredibly stressful for somebody to share that kind of secret with somebody and have them remind you of it years later. I can't imagine what Marty's probably thinking. He's put that all behind him. He's never really thinking about it again. And then all of a sudden you have Russ showing up and being like, "Hey, remember when you killed that guy?"
Yeah.
Like, probably not something you want to think about.
Rust is a horrible asshole, but Marty just kind of knows he's always right,
Yeah.
even when he's an asshole. Almost especially when he's an asshole.
So then moving on, we have the investigation headquarter is actually in a storage unit. We heard
the storage unit.
We heard about this when the two cops, I forget their name, the detectives were...
Papadimio and Papadou.
Yeah.
Key and Peele.
Key and Peele. When they were asking to search his storage unit, he was like, "Get a fucking warrant." So now we're here. Russ further elaborates
and at this point, too, if you're Marty, you're like, what am I going to find in here?
Yeah, because he actually pulls up to the storage unit, and then he grabs his gun.
Yeah.
And he makes sure it's loaded, and he follows Russ then. And it's not a little pea shooter either.
It's great because Russ knows exactly too that he's got the gun. As soon as they walk, he's like, "What you packing?"
He's like, 38 hollow point.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. Russ further elaborates on his thought process. There's no physical evidence connecting Dora Lang to Reggie Ledoux, his place out in the woods. But now he's noticed women and children have gone missing, all taken within a 10-mile radius within schools from the Wellspring Initiative, and twice as many along the bayous.
Historically, that's where they're going.
Yep.
That's where they're going.
Why was Tuttle so interested in the Lang case? Charlie said there was a group of men doing sacrifices. Tuttle recognized something about the murder and wanted it taken care of swiftly.
And at this point, Marty has been brought into a storage shed with this is Charlie Day levels. Everyone references that meme all the time, Pepe Sylvia. This is Pepe Sylvia levels of crazy. And Marty at this point is like, you need to slow down. You need something else. This is wrong.
Yeah, he's like, I see a lot of speculation because it is at this point. You do have a little bit of correlation between the Wellspring Initiative and where the people are going missing, and Russ's intuition is probably good enough for for Marty to keep going with him.
And at this point, it's probably like correlation without causation. And it's funny because Rust is also holding a trump card, not only because it is a card that will win the hand, but Trump is a pedophile. So he has that card, which is a VHS tape. Rust knows what's going to happen. And I think he's almost testing to see like what Marty feels about this much, this much, this much. And he's like, I have no case without this thing that I shouldn't have.
Yes. 1988 accusations of child molestation at a preschool funded by Tuttle. Rianne Olivier.
Yeah.
Ooh, nailed it. Look at me go. Went to the school. Russ checks the enrollment, and one of them showed up for solicitation in New Orleans, and Russ spoke with them in 2010. So Tuttle's involved. Russ is never going to get off that train, and he's right. So that was one of the things back in
2002. He went and looked at him in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, was that 20? Yeah, that was 2002.
Yeah, when he was like, I don't want you pressing Tuttle anymore. And then the next thing Russ does is go and talk to Tuttle.
Yeah.
That was when he was looking for records, but he's really just there to look at Tuttle's face.
So 2010, Rust is back around. He goes to meet up with a person named Johnny Joni. And Johnny Joni went to the same school as Rianne. And they explained that it must have been, they thought it must have been a dream because what they remember, I'm not sure what Johnny Joni identifies as. It seems like they might be a lady or a man of the night, and they have seen some rough times. But he's asking about the school, and Johnny Joni's like, "Oh my God, the school?" And Johnny says that they thought it was a dream that they were having because they couldn't move, and all the men were wearing animal masks. It must have been a dream. And there were 3 young men, one with a lot of facial scarring. These 3 men are Reggie Ledoux, the other Ledoux brother, and the killer, the one that we see in episode 8. So that's what the 3 young men, one with the facial scarring. The green-eared spaghetti monster allegedly chased a girl through the woods in Erath. This is the man with the scars on his face. The scars have been consistently mentioned by so many different people. That's weird. This is something. The township around Erath is where the Tuttles are from. Used to be. This is cool. At this point, he's off into fucking like world history. He's like, this used to be a pirate hideout. I'm like, I'm in, dude. What do we got? Is Blackbeard involved? He's like, used to be a pirate hideout. Then it turned into a plantations. Had a very rural sense of Mardi Gras. Men in masks and horses. We saw that one picture in that one person's house. Yeah.
And this is, this is just good writing too, because it's like kind of painting the picture for how this pedophile cult even started, because it's got its roots in this area, and these were the traditions, and it got molded and morphed over time into something wicked.
How any culture or religion can kind of become colloquialized or regionalized. It's evolving, it's changing, but this area has plantation owners, people in power, that came from this sort of New Orleans, Mardi Gras, rural religion. The winter festival that area had matched up to a lot of the killer's imagery. Rust then says he needs Marty for access to case files and a ton of other paper trails. And Marty's like, man, the sprawl, this is conjecture. You got nothing, do you? And Rust says, there's something you're going to have to take a look at. And he just gives him a bottle of liquor, too.
Yeah, he's going to need it.
Yep.
We go to Maggie's house, and Marty and Maggie have a very nice conversation. They are talking about the kids, just kind of catching up. You immediately see a photo of Maggie and her new husband that we don't actually meet in the show, but she's moved on. She looks like she's doing well, successful, happy.
It's interesting the way that Marty asks about the kids. You can tell he's just unaware of what's going on.
Yeah, he's not present in their lives.
And at this point, I mean, I could imagine he's not only depressed, and so he doesn't want to come back and look like a depressed schlub, but he's also just ashamed. After everything that's happened, I can't imagine he likes likes being seen by his family at all. That's got to be hard.
Yeah.
You don't want to be seen as that weak, horrible person you were.
Yeah, I really feel for Marty here, because his life has kind of slipped through his fingers. There's a line where he's like, he talks about eating or cooking or something to Maggie, and it's a shot of him undoing a Hungry Man TV dinner meal, and it's just like, that was such a gut punch for me when I watched it, because it's just such a sad, pathetic existence.
Now,
and
unless
he started,
if he started the new season, The Boys, he might be fine.
Yeah, then you're having a good night.
Then it's an okay TV dinner.
And then maybe it's a Hungry Man. Then
maybe you upgrade.
Yeah, it's like Campbell's Chunky Soup.
You put the Jack's Pizza down, and you're like, maybe this stuffed crust DiGiorno tonight.
Ooh, I will treat myself.
Make it 2 Coronas. And I am driving.
He asks Maggie about the police visit, and she says that she told them nothing of importance. She asks about Rust. They just kind of go back and forth a little bit, but he says he's going to help Rust with whatever he's cooking up, and Maggie can kind of feel like this is kind of like him saying goodbye. It definitely feels that way the first time you watch the scene.
Yes.
Which was very nerve-wracking for me.
Well, and at this point, you kind of get the feeling that they're starting to just take their chips and go all in. They don't have anything else they're living for.
Yeah.
This case has become their goal, and its success is all that matters. And very likely they will fail.
Yeah. This scene definitely hits all the emotional cues that it needs to really drive the point home. It does feel like a goodbye.
Well, I'm happy the girls are doing well, and good to see you, Maggie.
Yeah. Well, from something sad to something absolutely horrific is the tape. Russ admits to breaking into Billy Lee Tuttle's place. He's like, you remember my days in robbery? I'm actually a pretty good B&E guy.
And Marty, at this point, he was already kind of informed, like, Billy Lee died mysteriously, and his house was broken into. So he's like, oh, shit. What are you...
Yeah.
You're going to say something that's going to get me into a thing, aren't you?
So Rust indeed was the one who broke into Billy Lee's. We see it.
The most obvious
awesome
mystery of the show.
Yes. He did not have anything to do with Billy Lee's death, however, so we don't have to worry about that. But he did, he found a safe with like photographs and a tape, and he took some stuff.
He mentions at one point, he's like, is this it? Is this how I'm going down? Fucking crazy dude breaking into someone's house? Because he's like, am I getting high in my own supply? Is this legit, or have I gone off the deep end? And at this point, he's dressed as a burglar, breaking into a dude's house.
He went from a detective to somebody committing an actual crime.
And he mentions, like, I didn't know if I was figuring it out or this was the end in itself.
And he is vindicated when he finds what he finds. Plus, Billy Lee doesn't report one of the break-ins, which means he's also not willing to get the police involved to a certain aspect.
Yeah.
So it is cool to see Russ like, am I losing my mind? Actually, I'm not.
Yeah.
He plays Marty the tape, which is, like you said, his trump card. Like, Marty's not going to be able to turn away from the truth once he sees what's on this tape.
The tape, fairly grainy. It looks like, I want to say black and white, regardless, low quality. And we see a girl with her eyes covered and men in masks. And then we don't see any more of the tape as the audience, but we see Marty see it.
Yeah, and Marty doesn't make it very far into it because immediately he recognizes what this is. And once you hear some sounds, we as the audience don't see what's on the tape, obviously. But you start to hear some sounds and he turns it off. And you can tell it's
Space Jam 2.
Oh, God, no.
God, turn it off.
Burn it. Rust is like, yep, I knew that was going to happen. Marty's like, you should not have that.
And he said, yeah, no one should have this.
Yeah, that's one of Rust's best lines, I think, because when Marty's like, you should not have that, straight up, no one should.
And then Marty follows up, do you watch that whole thing? And Russ makes a fair point. I had to. I had to see if they show their faces at all.
And they didn't.
Ugh.
Yeah. And then
then he says something like, I'm not going to look away.
Yeah, he's going to witness it because, I mean, in some sort of morbid, I don't know, it makes sense for Russ to, like, it's for you're trying to solve the case. Like, I'm not going to let this just disappear.
Yeah.
And then we get full circle. The little girl in the video is Marie Fontenot.
Yep.
Which is now we have kind of started to connect all the dots here.
Yes, this was Marie Fontenot was, I believe, the girl from end of episode 1, episode 2, where they're going and like someone said another girl went missing, and then they find the little trap behind the house.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they say that she ran off to be with her daddy.
Yes.
Marty is like, all right, I'm in, because obviously he's in. But they're going to move offices. They're not going to work out of the fucking storage shed or storage unit.
Wise. Yeah. Marty agrees. I'll get all the files I can to help.
Yeah.
And Marty has a fair amount. He's running a security agency at this point at Hart Investigative Solutions. And we don't know how business is going for him. There's a few other desks in this fairly big little business. And Russ says, is anyone going to bother us? And Marty's like, no. No, dude. I don't know how Investigative Solutions, how busy is that ever going to be?
Wednesdays are your busiest day of the week.
We're not
It's weird.
We don't know. I've never needed one. But I guess, what do I get a private detective for? I'm like, follow Tyler. See how late he does drink. Like, he was out late. He made some video where he was a detective.
He was hammered. It was crazy.
He seemed happy. He'd be like, these pictures are great. Yeah. So they move into Marty's office, and Russ kind of like awkwardly asks, it's almost like a little kid's first day at school. He kind of is playing with papers. He looks up and is like, so how you been? And Marty just like gets this shitty grin. He's like, that might be the first time you asked me a personal question ever. That is 17 years you've never asked me a personal question once. And it's true. And at this point, I'm sure Russ has gone crazy. He doesn't have anyone he's casually friends with.
No.
He is friends with the one dude at the bar who doesn't talk.
That's it.
And both of them say some simple nothings. Oh, here and there, I just kind of hang out and just sit at TV dinners. I'm not depressed. I'm fine.
I'm totally doing all right.
I'm really good. And Marty is seen on, he's like, yeah, some dates. And then it shows Marty on Match.com. I'm like, dude, he's already dead. Leave him alone. TV dinners. And Russ like, yeah, kind of just, staying busy. And it's just him taking out the garbage and drinking.
I can relate.
Now I feel attacked. And Russ asks Marty why he quit. And Marty says it ran its course. He's not ready to be fully honest on that. He'll be honest with that later. But Russ says he could have been. Then, Marty's like, what would you have done if you never were police? And Russ said he could have been a painter or a historian at the station. So Marty is trying to get access to some of these files. So Marty goes to the station. And one of his old colleagues is now the chief. And he's like, I'm thinking of being an author. And the guy laughs and was like, you're a fucking liar. You're a dumbass. Whatever. But Marty's like, here's a bottle of whiskey. He's like, I will get you some files. Man, it is good to see you, though. Yeah.
Marty's got some charm, too, because he turns it up for these couple scenes where he's like, when he needs to kiss ass to get what he wants, he just turns it on and it's so believable. And I think it's the same way that he used to like pick up chicks back in the day too. Like he can be a charming motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
When he needs to be.
Yes. People like him.
Yeah.
That's one of his traits. And so, he is able to get the files from the station, the old files. Problem is the files are not computerized. So he has to look through all of these old boxes. And it's a fun little turn around because it's usually Russ that's doing the paperwork, and it's fun that Marty is now the one having to go through all of it.
Yeah, I would not want to do that job.
Now, I think the bar owner's name is Dumain?
Dumain?
I don't know.
Dumain's domain.
Yes.
At the bar, Marty goes over what he found. Dewall
Ledoux.
Transferred title for a truck to a Jimmy Ledoux. Who works at an auto shop, probably just a cousin.
Another Ledoux.
Turns out it is a cousin. Do they do that part here or is that later? He goes and talks to the cousin. The cousin's like, yeah, we didn't really associate with that side of the family. They were kind of odd. It wouldn't surprise me if they were up to no good.
Yeah, and the person at the auto shop mentions, I went fishing one time with the other Ledoux. And he's like, the guy with the scars just kept looking at me. It was really weird. And they wound up, he never saw him again.
Yeah.
But he knew him at least once.
Marie Fontenot, her files are missing conveniently.
It's just paperwork.
Probably in one of the floods.
Yeah.
We have so many hurricanes and pedophiles that between the two, stuff gets lost in the shuffle.
We can't just release all these files at once.
We got to redact them all first.
Yeah.
Marty is introduced to Robert Dumain.
Either is fine. I don't know.
Who lost a son.
Ledoux.
Yeah, everybody's Ledoux now.
Everyone's Ledoux.
Robert, who lost a son a long time ago.
Yeah, because they're at the bar talking, and the one, like the bar owner just sitting there, just sucking on a beer, just kind of looking at him. Marty's like, hi, can we talk by him? He's like, yeah, he's cool. Hates cops. I ain't a cop anymore.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, and like I said, at the auto shop, Jimmy Ledoux talked about that fishing trip, but kind of a big hole, nothing. But they are both, they're both entirely end now. I think Marty's reaching Pepe Sylvia levels of...
It's a little bit of a nothing, but that's another Ledoux and another confirmation of the scarred face.
Yeah, the scarred face has been... we'll get there. We'll get there.
So through tax records, this is actually pretty interesting. They were able to find a lady who received a paycheck as a maid for Billy Lee Tuttle's father. And at this point, Russ is like, God damn.
You're actually doing some police work.
You did some paperwork. And then Marty said some smart shit, I'm sure. But so they go see this lovely old lady, this old black woman, and maybe her granddaughter or something like that. And she's very sweet, kind of old, not senile, but a little absent-minded. She confirms, yes, I worked for Sam Tuttle for 19 years. And then he's like, did you ever know Billy Lee? And they pretend like we're doing some mineral rights or something.
Yeah, isn't it like some inheritance? It's
like maybe some inheritance.
Yeah.
But it's like some mineral rights. And so that's how they get in. But she's like, yes, I knew Billy Lee and Cousin Eddie. And she confirms Sam, and then they're like, did Sam ever had maybe some other kids out of wedlock? And she goes, oh, yes.
He had so many.
He had many kids outside of marriage. And then she whispers that after she had it done to her the first time, he didn't like them, but that one time. He only liked virgins, probably underage, very young. And they ask again about Cousin, and she says the scarred kid was Sam's grandchild. And she says his father scarred him like that. She says he was a childress. And this lady, and then the younger woman's like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, this is not about no mineral rights. What are you actually up to?
And Rust says, shows her some devil traps. Do you recognize any of this? And then she is set off. Like she is all of a sudden like having a flashback, an acid flashback almost, because she must have been at one of the situations, and it's like where your brain is so fuzzy and distorted because they were probably LSD fucked up beyond comparison. And she says, Carcosa? And I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing? What's going to happen the rest of these episodes? And she says, this lovely old lady, him who eats time, him robes. It's a wind of invisible voices. Rejoice. Death is not the end. Some crazy Lovecraftian monstrous shit. And like, well, we have what we need. Thank you. We'll be back. And then the lady out front.
It's like probably her daughter or the girl taking care of her or
maybe
something.
Granddaughter even.
Maybe, yeah.
But
she's like, you better pay up. You have my grandmother in a tizzy now.
And they're just like, yep, here you go. Here's your money. And then she leaves. And then Russ says, I sure hope that lady was wrong about death not being the end of it.
I love that line.
Yeah. Russ would say something like that.
They find out after this that the sheriff didn't take the original missing report. A deputy did when it comes to Marie Fontenot's lack of paper trail. That deputy was Deputy Steve Geraci. That is also the dude that Rust slapped the shit out of in episode 1.
And I'm like, please, let Rust beat him up again.
I want to see him slap him again.
Why don't you do it yourself, tax man? And then Russia fucking slaps the shit out of the dude. Oh my God. I think about that from time to time and I laugh. Dude, he slaps so hard and
so fast.
It's so fast. There is no hesitation.
Yeah, and then he's ready for a follow-up too. He's like, were you going to dance?
Yeah.
Want to dance? Steve Geraci might know something, and he is currently the sheriff in Iberia.
And this is an issue.
Yes, this is a big issue.
Sheriffs are hard to get to.
Nobody can arrest the sheriff except the governor.
Which seems like that's some fucked up shit.
That's I think that's oversight. It's a little oversight.
What if the sheriff killed the governor?
You're telling me that I could citizen arrest anybody? Like, I have that power. We're giving that power to normal people?
You don't have any power, Tyler.
I don't have that much power. Well, technically...
Just sex appeal. That doesn't count.
But yeah, you should be able to arrest the sheriff. Not you personally, but a cop should.
Yes.
Russ says they just need to chat. And maybe a car battery or 2 jumper cables. That'll get them talking. But Marty's like, hold on. All right. So Marty agrees to go talk to him, which is good because you send the guy in to kiss his ass first, and they go to the golf course. Steve and Marty are making some small talk.
Yeah. What's the saying? Buy me dinner before you fuck me.
Yeah. This is essentially what this is. And Marty is being his fucking charming little self again. He brings up Fontenay and says the extended family wants to locate, and it's not like super important or anything. He's like totally trying to downplay it. Steve said, if I recall, that girl's mom was single with drug charges, and Marie went to go live with her birth daddy. Yeah, I think that's how it went. He said Ted Childress talked to the family back then, which is not cool because that does not align with what the paperwork says.
Yes.
Because he's the one who filed the report, and now he's trying to blame it off on Ted Childress. And I think at this point...
Who was the sheriff at that time.
Who is now dead.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's trying to like bury that lead. Steve brags about the car he just seized from some like drug dealer or something, like over a quarter bag of weed.
And now I really hate him.
Yeah.
I hated him for every reason before, but it's like, dude, quarter bag?
Yeah, and it's a nice car.
Also, I guess whoever's got that car is probably up to shenanigans. Not that you should be able to take a car and just steal it, but...
Yeah, but that guy gets out of prison, sees you driving his car, he might kill you. Like, there's revenge.
Or if Afro Man will make a diss track about it.
Oh, yeah, that'll be great.
Have you heard any of those songs?
No.
Lick 'em Up Lisa is very funny.
Lick 'em up, Lisa?
You heard what happened to Afro Man, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
wrote
won those.
diss tracks for each individual police officer.
Hell yeah.
Oh, some of them are great. And not like an award-winning way, but the fact that it's fucking Afro Man being cheesy is very funny.
That's when I like Afro Man the most.
Lick 'em up, Lisa.
I want to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Marty then calls Rust, and he's like, get the jumper cables, this motherfucker's lying.
And I'm like, yeah, get him.
And you can tell, too, because he's like, Marty does a really good job of the balancing act of, like, pretending to be an old friend that just wants to, like, catch up and actually trying to figure something out. He brings up Marie Fontenay in a kind of clunky but believable way. And, yeah, Steve immediately buries it.
And he can feel the pushback and the reluctance.
And he drops it.
And he's like, jumper cables will do it.
Yeah.
We'll wait. Yeah. At this point, Maggie visits Dumain's domain, and Rust fucking doesn't want to see her.
Yeah.
He's like, me and Marty are cool right now, and you are a problem.
I did not expect her to go find Rust.
And he's just working at the bar, and she tries to talk to him, like, about his life, and he will not answer any personal questions. Doesn't know her shit after what she did to him. Fair enough. What Marty did to her, 100% fucking awful. What she did to Rust, not good either.
Well, it's like sexual assault.
It is.
Like it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And to a large extent, ruined Rust's life. That took whatever was working in Rust's life and made it blow up.
Yeah, that took the one person in his corner, Marty, out of his corner.
And she asked, I just want to know if Marty might get hurt with whatever it is you're working on. And he's like, I can't tell you that. And Rust says, it never sat right with me, and it doesn't now. You asking me to lie to you about him. Now get on out of here. You're classing the place up. She knew back in the day Marty was sleeping around, and she would call him like, hey, do you know what's up with Marty? And he knew that she knew, and she knew that she knew, and she just wanted someone to lie to her. And Rust, rightfully so, fucking doesn't have time of day for her. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you ruined my life.
Yes.
Please leave.
I'm with him, 100%.
Absolutely.
Back at Hart Investigative Solutions, Rust once again asks, they've been hanging out for a while. I was like, why did you quit, Marty?
Yeah, and Rust is a good enough detective to know that Marty didn't tell the truth the first time.
And Marty, rightfully so, probably doesn't want to talk about this because he mentioned that he found a baby in a microwave and that a tweaker was trying to dry the infant off.
That's fucked.
And Russ says that's enough. He was ready to tie off his life of violence and degradation. He's like, I'm done with that. And Jesus.
Yeah, cops see a lot of shit, and compartmentalization is a skill that I think you're going to need to have if you're going to be a police officer. I know my brother has seen some fucked up shit, and you would never know by talking to him. But I do think And maybe it is a cliche that is in a lot of detective writing, but you get to a point where you're just done.
Yep.
Your compartmentalization bin is full.
Yeah.
And it is time to go golf or be a bartender or coach Little League.
And that's when Russ calls like, hey, Marty. Fuck.
My bin's full.
I can't do it. And yeah. Then it cuts to them on a boat. Well, it cuts to Marty and Steve on a boat. And they're just sitting there fishing in the Everglades and not the Everglades, some swamp.
Some bayou.
Some bayou. And
Maybe the Gulf.
I just imagine every swamp where someone's on a boat like that is the Everglades. But Marty presses Steve on Marie Fontenot, and he's like, no, can we fucking stop? We're here. We're fishing. We're having a good time. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about work.
Can we leave it? He's like, that's fine. I won't talk about it. I promise I won't talk about it. Now him, on the other hand, and fucking Russ comes out with a gun just fucking right at him. And I was like, yeah.
Kill him. Kill him.
Get him.
Cut his head off. Whoa.
And Russ reveals that you're out of your jurisdiction, Sheriff. And my raging hard-on for illegal justice is so good right now. It is just raging.
So the other detectives, Gilbo,
and Papa.
I'm going to Papa and Gilly. That's what I'm going to go with.
Okay, Papa and Gilly.
Papa and Gilly are in the bayou trying to find the burned out old church that Russ mentioned. Unable to find the address, they stop by a cemetery to ask a caretaker for its location.
This is nice because it does show that these two are trying to solve it. They're not bad dudes. They are legit doing work.
They were barking up slightly the wrong tree.
But they were at least barking at trees.
Yes.
They're looking for the right tree.
They're just not in the right spot. But this is a really good scene.
And honestly, if I saw Rust, I'd be like, that dude's sketchy.
That guy is kind of odd.
I think he might be a little weird.
We're going to watch him.
Yeah.
This is a really good scene to end what do you call, all right, I'm so bad at this. What do you call the second to last episode?
Penultimate.
Penultimate?
Yeah.
Like an ultimate pen.
The prior to the ultimate, the penultimate.
Penultimate. I never knew I never knew the word.
Yeah.
So as a finale, or as the end to the penultimate episode, I really like this scene because it flashes. If you remember back when Marty was talking to the guy mowing the lawn, it's the same kind of scenario.
Yes.
They ask this man for help.
We recognize this man.
We recognize this man. After the caretaker points them in the right direction, they drive off, failing to notice that the lower part of his face is heavily scarred. He says to himself, my family's been here a long, long time.
And I'm like, who's he talking to?
He's talking to him.
He's talking to the audience. He's like, I'm the guy.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Boom.
He's like, they better find some true detectives to catch me. And then he winks at the camera. Yeah, and then the Looney Tunes thing closes on him. If anything, yeah, my family's been here a long, long time. It's a little on the nose for me, a little cheesy pie.
I love it.
Still works.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's the guy. Now we're cooking.
And then the episode ends.
And you know, I'm so excited for the next episode. And I remember that whole week just like, what is gonna happen? What is Carcosa? What is the Yellow King? Are we gonna get answers on this stuff? What do I want it to be? Do I want it to be a shootout? Do I want it to be quiet? Do I want these characters to die? They could die. This is a standalone series. We don't know who is safe and what. I have zero ability to predict what's going to happen.
Yes, and with Maggie being in this episode, talking to both Marty and to Rust, that made me super nervous going into the last episode because it did feel like they were saying goodbye. They're wrapping up these storylines and these relationships in a very tidy way.
Yes.
They have now come full circle, and they have shown the scarred man,
And the scarred men.
Yes.
Yes.
The scarred men. Steve got his car shot up. And,
Wait, no. Well, we don't know that yet.
Oh, yeah, we don't know. That's the next episode. I forgot about that.
We just know they're on a boat. But it's at this point, it was impossible to predict what could happen and what I wanted to happen.
Yeah. I am it really sucks when what your expectations or what you want from like a sequel or the next episode or whatever doesn't quite happen. Like for me, for instance, The Bone Temple. I just watched it. It is a good movie. It is entirely 100% not what I wanted from a sequel.
You're one of the only people I've heard not come out of Bone Temple thinking that shit was hot.
Nah, I did not care for it.
I haven't seen it because I haven't seen the last two.
But for this episode, entirely what I did want to happen in the finale did happen. I was super stoked. And it's great when your expectations are kind of met.
It wasn't what I expected, but it's what it deserved. And I'm going to go ahead and rank episode 7 like the previous episode 1 through 6. It's a fucking 10 out of 10. This show, you can't do better. It's if something is this good, you get a 10 out of 10. I'm not going to, is there 9.6? I could have done with a different edit. No, it's fucking great. It's perfect.
Every single one of these episodes is a 3 Michelin star episode.
I didn't like one performance. No, fuck off.
I think Maggie's scenes were a little dry.
She used to be hotter. Get fucked, dude. She's an angel.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. And
we're just going to spoil it right away. Next episode, 10 out of 10.
It was 10 out of 10. And if you are loving this show, please write a review. Tell your friends. If you want access to the next episode immediately, or you want access to other episodes of Popcorn Dogs and all of the other amazing shows on the Hair of the Dogcast network, check out patreon.com/Hair of the Dogcast. Special thanks to Patreon executive producers Phil Wright, Brian Ward, Ryan Christinek, Kipper, Jordan Hoff, Phil Just Red Bear Phil, thanks Tyler, Justin Melly, Just Sonic, Spetsnaz, Ejot, Tony Pepperoni, BG, Andy Bongwater, and Alexander Type 1 writer error, thanks Tyler. I don't have that written down, and I think I was pretty close. Alexander, if I'm not, we do love you. And we will be back next time to talk about episode 8 of True Detective. Bye. Ba-boom. Dum-dum.